What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where we've got some news on the Division Resurgence and a sneaky little comment elsewhere on X that actually might give us some really good and really wanted further information that we've not yet had an official announcement for. So don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. Right, okay, let's start off with the juicy news before we get into the press release that they have just released. So when this was announced that it was kind of coming back during the Gamescom live streams, I was in the chat, and the only question that I asked during this chat was, is this going to have a PC client? Like, we need a PC client for this game. And that's been extremely popular recently. I don't know if you play Marvel Mystic Mayhem or the new Destiny Rising game. Like, it's just proven extremely popular. You know, the Marvel Snap has a PC client as well. And really, these are all mobile games. But sometimes people just like to play them on their PC because they're kind of more than a mobile game. Sometimes they're easier to control. For instance, Destiny Rising is way easier to control on a PC or a controller than the actual on-screen controls themselves that are always just a bit naff. So Division Resurgence really, in my opinion, needs this to happen. So let me show you this. What's crazy, in looking for what I need to show you, I've just seen that the Division Resurgence official account has followed me. That's awesome. So here it is from my main man Skills. He said, hey, Division Mobile and a Division game. I know you have seen Destiny Rising provide a PC emulator right from their official site using the Mumu emulator. That's what it's called. It provides perfect M&K support and controller support. We 100% need this to happen. Now, I have no idea why I got modded when I asked this question during the live stream, but they replied to him and put this meme, which I can only assume is from The Office. Now, this meme is called check. Now, to me, that's like you've checked one off the list. Like, this is going to happen. Check. Like, it's not an official announcement, but to me, this is concrete info that it's going to be at least on the way. And I really, really, really hope it is. Anyway, with that said, let's move back to the actual info that we have. So, they've announced a closed test on September the 9th. Now, don't get your hopes up too high. Unfortunately, they're only launching it in Romania. I've no real idea why. It seems a little bit odd, to be perfectly honest, considering I'm pretty sure the last test was in the US, which is obviously a much bigger set of people to test with. And yeah, I can't really imagine how big the Romania test would be. Maybe they just need to do a small test. But if you are from Romania and you do get in, please do let me know, if you're allowed to, obviously, how you get on. But this goes on a little bit further to some more interesting topics that I really want your opinion of. And I actually think they actually sit right with how the mobile game genre is right now. Because it's all about monetization, which in Division 2 is a tough topic because the game's a fully, paid for game. We get a season pass and things like that. But obviously, there is a lot of apparel that comes that you don't have to buy, but it's costly, right? So when we dig into this here, you can see here, it says that they've been busy working on the game. They talked about it during the panel, that they've reworked the entire initial section and things like that to make it much more engaging and things, so that's going to be great. But what is weird is this test is going to be similar to some of no, it says here, the build will be similar to the one some of you had the chance to test in December 2023. And that's just really odd to me. I don't know what this test is trying to achieve, and the only thing I can kind of assume is back-end services. They don't want you to necessarily try out the new content that they've been creating for the last 2 years, because it sounded like the game had a really big overhaul when we, kind of watched that segment during the live stream. But this is going to be very similar to the old build, and I can only guess that it's going to be testing back-end services. And the reason why I kind of think that is, it goes on to say here, please register and everything like that, but that they seem to be testing the in-game purchases side of things as well. Now, this was announced previously. So when they did the last test, this was also a thing, and it's literally copy pasta to what they gave people in the last test. So as you can see here, it says about registering, and then no other means of entering the test will be provided at this time. Please rest assured that more information about upcoming milestones will be shared in the next week. And then it says here the compensation for a reminder about in-game purchases. It says here the compensation will be in the form of premium credits, automatically credited to the player's account during the regional beta tests. Players will simply need to log in, use the same account after launch to receive the compensation. Okay. So all of a sudden this is like a little bit odd. But they did mention up here, it says monetization will be active during with the previous bonus at launch for anyone who invests in the game at the time. Now, I don't know what they did with the people back in 2003 that took this deal up, because obviously the game's just not been around for 2 years. Did they credit the money back to these people? Are they still waiting to get this money as part of this deal? Like, if anybody knows that info, I definitely would be interested to know. But the deal that they're putting out is what's more, will also include a bonus for any in-app purchases during each regional beta test. So this is test 1, there'll be a test 2 and test 3, and this bonus resets every time. But just wait, up to including the equivalent of $300 US, which is a lot of money. Players will receive 150% of the premium currency value for the total spent above the equivalent of 300 USD. Players will still receive 120% of the premium currency value, and it feels like at that point there is no cap. So you're kind of spending $300 US to get 150% bonus, but then after that you could spend thousands and you'll get 120% of the premium value. Now, this might have changed, but obviously it's cosmetics, it's mods, it's quick access to upgrades and things like that. Everything you would kind of expect from a mobile game. So I don't know if you played Marvel Mystic Mayhem or if you played the Destiny Rising that's just come out and things like that, but you can pay for cosmetics, you can pay for premium stuff in the store, you can pay for energy so that you can kind of carry on playing the game after your daily allowance has kind of expired. And this is all how mobile games make their money, you know, the gacha kind of system that they'll build in. Now, because don't expect Division here to be any different. It's not a fully fledged game. It'll be highly monetized. It will be capped on how much per day you can do. I fully expect that as well. And it will kind of wait for, you know, an energy revival or something like that for you to be able to grind out more. Obviously there'll be exceptions to that, like the timed dark zones and things like that, where you can go in and play, you know, and things like that to earn rewards daily and things like that. But, you know, expect it to be highly monetized, and, you know, the shortcut system for people that wish to do that to be a quite high bar. And then it goes on and says the bonus is reset at the start of each regional beta. In practice, this means that a player spent the equivalent of 400 USD during the first regional beta test. They will be compensated in form of premium credits worth an equivalent of 570 USD. And as you can see there, it's done the split for the initial 150% boost and then the 120 after that. And then it says, moreover, as the bonus resets at the start of the next regional beta, this player could once more benefit from the 150% compensation up to and including the equivalent of 300 USD. Maybe it's just, it doesn't kind of say that then the 1.2 qualifies after that. It kind of just makes out that you just get the bonus from the first 300. But obviously, either way, this is, you know, a huge amount of money. It's obviously as well a huge amount of bonus money that will get people one step ahead, you know, on the day of launch. You know, there'll be things in the store that will make progress faster, and these will, you know, be available for people using these premium credits if they've got the money to kind of loan them, right? It feels like you're... there would be, to me, there should be a line at the bottom of that that says, you know, if the game doesn't come out for whatever reason, you'll be credited back, you know, the monies, essentially, because you're not getting back the money, you're getting premium credits. And that's why I'm interested to see what happened with the last time this test happened and they did the same test, to see if then people got the money back, or actually are they just waiting on getting premium credits when the game finally launches. So, you know, it is where it is. I am excited to play this because it's Division. I'm probably not too excited about the monetization features that I know will be heavily stacked against us because it is a mobile game. But I hope that they give us enough free-to-play aspects or low-cost aspects. You know, if you throw a tenner a month into it for a season pass or something like that, I don't think many people will argue. You know, if they, especially if they like the Division, they can play it on the go and they, you know, you play it every day. I think that's probably fair to buy a season pass for around a tenner. It's probably okay. You know, you maybe spend 30 upwards a month on a game, on a new game or whatever, you know, so if this is taking up your time, I guess why not? But, you know, if things are going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, like when you're seeing things where it says 570 USD, I think that's probably going to be, well, it's certainly going to be out of my price point, and I would imagine most people's price point at that point. But then we've just got to hope that the free progression system is enough for, you know, to warrant playing. It's a very fine line. I feel like if you've played it, I know I've harped on about it a lot. I've been playing it a lot recently. I feel like Marvel Mystic Mayhem does it just right. The balance between paid and not paid in that game is pretty good. You can play every day. You can't play forever, but you know, you're not too far behind a person that is full on credit card. You know, and it's a fair fight in the end as long as you put that little bit of extra time in. So yeah, you know, I really don't want to fall down the raid kind of scenario that this game could have potentially. That's heavily monetized. It's, you know, monetized massively, you know, to people's benefits. But yeah, there's got to be benefits to being monetized, but there's also going to be benefits to people who, you know, just want to play your game and perhaps pay for a season pass every now and again, or a cool outfit or something like that. Anyway, this video has been way too long. As always, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And hopefully we'll see you soon on more regional betas. Bye-bye.